Throughout the late 80s, Ian Botham was becoming better known for what he did off the field than what he did on it.
In the 1980s, his face sold newspapers was really what it came down to. He was banned for admitting to smoking marijuana in 1986, and funnily enough, when he was out of the side, England were abysmal. They lost to everyone, and he comes back moments later after his ban. He suddenly breaks the world record, gets the wicket in his second over, and the rest is history. Graham Gooch said, "Who writes the scripts?" He was a man who dominated everything that he ever came across, including, you know, in the public eye. Everyone was looking at him, he knew it, and carried on regardless.
Ian Botham enjoyed life on and off the field, and I certainly can't blame him for doing that, and I certainly wouldn't criticize him for doing that. Life was made for living. I think a lot of times Ian Botham's life came in the papers because he was Ian Botham. He was the greatest, one of the greatest cricketers England ever produced, the greatest all-rounder, in my opinion, they have ever produced. And so the spotlight was on him, and whenever he went to enjoy his life off the field, they would keep on following him, they would keep on reporting on it. And that's just the way life is here in England.
In general, I actually got on very, very well with the majority of the cricket writers, you know, inverted commas, the real reporters from our point of view. What was a problem was that there was a tabloid war going on, which everyone's aware of, and there's, you know, what, 65 million people on this rock, and it's big business. So obviously there was a period where some editors perhaps didn't worry quite so much about whether it was true or not.
Ian Botham retired from Test cricket in 1992. Fittingly, his final first-class match for Durham in 1993 was against the touring Australians.
One morning, it took me about 7 or 8 minutes, literally, to get out of bed. And I thought, oh, I've had enough of this. You know, it's very frustrating when you can't perform as you had before. So it just made sense to me, well, get out. And you know, I'm not enjoying it. And I knew that there was no future for me in the England side that year, so what's the point of me cluttering up first-class cricket and get out of the way and let some youngsters come through.
Tees off again, great shot.
Ian Botham bounded into the spotlight in 1977, the year in which most of the world's best players defected to Kerry Packer's World Series cricket. He was seen as a gifted, carefree young gun who played for love rather than money. He brought flair and passion to the dour English game, on and off the field.
He changed English cricket, really. I really think he had a bit of West Indian blood in him, really, the way he plays. But when he had a ball in his hand, you know, he was doing something all the time. When he went out to bat, he played like he wanted to play, not what the coach might or the captain might tell him. But he enjoyed his cricket, and he gave England great service. And give cricket in general, you know, a bit of a boost.
His exploits are still talked about, you know, in revered sort of terms, particularly when you're talking about Ashes battles. And I think what made him so good is that he's one of these larger-than-life sort of characters. He's one of those blokes that he never believes there's any situation that he can't, you know, do something about.
Ian Botham played in 102 Test matches. He made 5,200 runs at an average of 33.54 with 14 centuries. He took 383 wickets at an average of 28.4 and completed 120 catches. He was one of cricket's great all-rounders. For a few wonder years, Botham was the miracle man. He seemed superhuman. When he turned out to be very human indeed, those very flaws seemed to make him even more popular. He was a working-class hero in the pastime of aristocrats.
People will talk about Ian Botham for years and years, for decades, and especially in England. People will talk about Ian Botham forever. Again, because of the Ashes series, 1981 Ashes series, when they watched Ashes here and that Test match at Leeds. But anywhere you go, youngsters who never ever saw Ian Botham live or even on tape, they talk about Ian Botham because he is the thing when it comes to cricket here in England. And it's pretty difficult to see anyone superseding him. So Ian Botham, his legacy will live on forever. Great all-rounder. The lifestyle he lived, the way he played the game, people won't forget that.
He was a massive campaigner, anti-leukemia campaigner as well, which is possibly one of his biggest legacies. In 1977, he went along to a children's hospital and saw these kids playing around. The nurse told him that, oh, they've all got terminal leukemia. And he just couldn't believe this. He couldn't fathom how seemingly healthy-looking children could possibly be on the verge of death. And basically, he has spent the rest of his career really promoting that cause. He has raised millions for that cause, and it's really that, alongside his cricket, have really sum up the legacy of the man. Everything he does absolutely wholeheartedly.
One of the great characters of world cricket, on the field and off the field.
Yeah, great friend and great company, but if you sit there and try and go drink to drink with him, I know who's going to come off second best.
Always something would happen, whether he had a ball in his hand or a bat in his hand, something would always happen. You know, whether it's falling over the stump, getting your leg over whatever it was, or taking endless wickets, or caught and bowled, or you just couldn't turn away.
Botham was a shooting star, the quickest to take 100 wickets and score 1,000 runs in Test matches. At his peak, he routinely achieved the unlikely and occasionally the impossible. He is without doubt one of ESPN's legends of cricket.